What is a fulfilled life? Well, let's talk about it. Hi, this is Liana, Holistic Intimacy Coach. Welcome back to my channel. Here, I help you get your orgasmic intimacy. I've been doing coaching, holistic intimacy coaching, for almost 9 years. In these years, I've kind of gathered a small list of things which I consider important when you're looking at fulfilled intimacy. The complication that I want to bring here, first and foremost, is in actually doing them and in actually assessing, one, how we're doing these things, why we're doing, and when we're actually seeing the benefits. We'll get into each and every single one of them. Now, the first one that I noted here with 0 is, what does fulfilled intimacy mean to you? The definition that you have might vary, and there's no one definition that fits everybody's view and everybody's embodied experience. Some people are just, they can't settle down, they won't settle down, they can't even wrap their brains around it. So for those people, fulfilled intimacy means to have a variety of partners. At the same time, one after the other, that's also, again, pertaining to definition. But for some people, fulfilled intimacy means a lot of people, a lot of them. For other people, it might be just having peace of mind and not complicating their lives. And you will hear this, especially nowadays, with a lot of women saying, a lot of women say that they're better off on their own, focusing on what? On their work or whatever mission that they might have. Some women actually go about it like that. Friends, health, clothes, makeup, whatever they want to, self-care, and that's their fulfilled intimate life. Do those women have sex? Sure. That's also, again, what does sex mean to everybody? Because it doesn't necessarily mean for everybody to do it with somebody else. It can also mean enjoying themselves whenever they feel like it. Of course, if you're a man listening to this, it might sound lame because self-pleasuring for men means lame. For women, it's not lame. It's not seen as lame. Women don't define it as lame. So I think the stigma here is not so nasty when it comes to women self-pleasuring. And as long as they're expressing, it's okay. As long as they're expressing and they're also healthy in the process. And by that, I mean they're not exposed to STIs. That happens a lot in hookup. It's really well for them. It's going well and they won't change it. So that's a lot of women's views on it. Other people's fulfilled intimacy, image of fulfilled intimacy is being in a relationship with the person that they love and who loves them back. And they keep the fire burning and they put in the work for it. So definitions, first of all, are important. Now, let's get into the list. The first thing that I wrote here is learning about self. What I mean here is, first of all, understanding, especially as you go through life. So your body changes, your hormones change, your definition and understanding of eros changes. Therefore, the stuff that you do when you're expressing sexually on your own, with somebody else, with a lot of others, doesn't matter, it also changes, okay? Because you've grown. Your body's changed, your hormones have changed, your perceptions, your understanding has changed. Therefore, your expression also changes. And when you're learning about yourself, not obsessively learning, okay? I'm not talking becoming an optimization freak. That's not really healthy. And a lot of those people are taking a lot of substances, chemical substances, legal or not, that's a different discussion. It's to sustain their nervous system, to push, reading, outputting, and stuff like that. Well, I believe that people are not machines, and they're not supposed to be constantly doing the same thing at the same intensity and also expect to be healthy and sane human beings. Okay, you see that mindset also with agriculture, okay? And that's why the nutritional value of agricultural products now is not as good as it used to be. You see that with what? With clothing and how we're producing it. It's more and more plastic and artificially made. Yeah, and it's, fast changing, new stuff, and we're piling up a lot of garbage behind us. So that mindset where you're constantly pushing yourself to learn, to grow, to do new things more, it's not healthy in any field of life, in my opinion. And it's also not helpful in intimacy. It would make you a really annoying partner really fast. Intimacy, whatever your definition is supposed to be about relaxing, taking it slowly, not freaking bam wham in 2 seconds and that's it. And then 2 more seconds and then 2 more seconds. No, it's not about that. It's about a deep, heartfelt connection in most cases. Unless people have emotional blockages to that. And yes, there are people who even own it, because a lot of people don't freaking even realize it. And they don't own it. They react to it as, come on, that's old school. That's lame. I don't have time for that. Those people are more blocked than they want to think. Some of them own it. And I think those that own it need to be respected. So learning about yourself as you go along is extremely important, but not obsessively. Okay? The focus should be on learning something in case you feel that you've outgrown the stuff that you're doing, how you're having sex, how often you're having sex, how many orgasms or what kind of orgasms. Like, those are discussions related to quality that you are going to have eventually. And that's a sign of growth. And when you're learning to navigate those changing needs of yours, awesome. And when you synchronize that learning with the learning that your partner does, awesome also. The second thing that I put here on the list is focus on self as opposed to comparing to others. The people that, if you really want to compare something, if you're the kind of person that loves to compare because this is the only way they can assess if they're okay or not, the best way to go about fulfilled intimacy is to compare with yourself in the past. And you do that comparison next to learning about yourself. Because if you don't learn anything new about yourself, but you compare to yourself from 10 years, 20 years ago, I don't know how old you are, so I'm just arbitrarily putting on years here, you might be disappointed. We do change, okay? Even if we're not aware, our body is going to change. It's not going to be the same when we're 17, then 27, then 37, and onward. It's not going to be the same. So when you want to compare to yourself, hopefully not to others, because what you're doing when you're comparing to others, you're comparing to perceptions of others, not the reality. A lot of people fake a lot of stuff about themselves. So I hope you realize that. So when you compare about yourself, I hope you couple it with learning about yourself, because otherwise you're comparing to just a different age of yours where your body functioned differently. And that's a reality of life. Your body is going to change throughout time, no matter who you are. Okay, number 3, fulfilled intimacy means that you frequently come back to your body. Living in your body, so not overthinking it, not paying attention to so many things outside of you, but just paying attention to the peace of mind and the relaxation, or sometimes even the pleasure in the relaxation that your body naturally feels if it's given the room for it. And when you do that, you might actually catch yourself, especially for women, this one's valid, because arousal signals are really subtle. It's not as obvious for women as it is for men. So when you frequently come back to your body, you actually become more adept at sensing arousal. It's not always over the top, but it is there. And guess what? When you sense it, you can choose to act on it or not, because you still act on those things. It can make a world of difference in many occasions. Okay, women taking initiative in their relationships, I don't see how a guy would complain. My view here. Number 4, you have preservation-based lifestyle. What do I mean by preservation? I mean by understanding how to give your body the best so that it can be relaxed and give the best output possible. And that means not over consuming everything out there. So fast-paced lifestyles aren't necessarily conducive to fulfilled intimacy. Let me say that again. Fast-paced lifestyles don't necessarily conduce to fulfilled intimacy. When you're focusing on a preservation lifestyle, it means that yes, you're taking care that you're well fed, you have a good roof over your head, enough food, and the best kind of food for you. You work out, or you move your body, or you give it whatever it needs to function properly without straining yourself. Why do I focus on this one a lot? Nowadays, people are just jacked into 220 volts. That's not, it doesn't lead in the long run to fulfilled intimacy, because you're going to be stressed out, freaked out, wired out. You're going to be all over the place. Intimacy needs you to be on one place in your body with the person next to you, and focusing on gradually increasing the erotic sensation that you carry in those moments. Preservation lifestyles allow you to do a lot of things for work, for intimacy, for health, for overall leisure, for overall socializing, for overall family health, and all of that. So preservation lifestyle. And here, a lot of the old school prerequisites apply. Sleep well, take it easy, meditate or contemplate, release a lot of your distractions, and by this one I mean too much exposure to at least social media. Yeah, it whacks your brain, really. It just whacks it. So preservation lifestyles, basically. Number 5, a healthy mindset. What do I mean by that? Well, it's related to the preservation lifestyle, but this means also that you focus on building the right kind of stuff, okay, and preventing trouble. So that means you're investing resources ahead of any possible trouble that comes ahead. Okay, a lot of society right now is focused on, oh, I have a problem, I'm investing in the solution. It is too late. When you already have the problem, it is too late, especially if it's one that was related to lifestyle. A lot of people's problems are related to lifestyle. They are not accidents. They're related to poor lifestyle or consumption lifestyles. Okay, so go back to the previous step. When you put your money into building a preservation, quiet, more sustainable, more fulfilled lifestyle, that means you're investing in the right program. You're investing your energy in the right job for you or work. Yeah, I believe that life coaches sometimes can be helpful, especially in those critical moments where you realize that you're in a wrong or a poor deal for you, job or just business or whatever. And those people actually can help you, whether it's a business coach or a lifestyle coach, to strategically shift gears in such a way that you don't cause havoc in your life overall in the long run. So you're investing in those, ideally way ahead of time, because you realize that if I'm going to go down that path where I work, I don't know how many jobs, where I accept, I don't know what kind of a lame, shitty, crappy behavior from bosses, colleagues, collaborators, business partners, suppliers, whatever it is, I'm going to be stressed out. I'm not going to cash in that much money anyway, but my health is going to deprecate, and I might not afford medical bills. My family might not have enough food, or if I'm just on my own, whoever I am, I might not afford to buy food. It's crappy. And it also leads to a poor or unfulfilled intimate life. Pure and simple. So sometimes these people, a lot of us don't believe in them, but these people are actually helpful to prevent havoc in your life. Okay, number 6, sexual expression. Intimate expression is important. Yeah, we're looking at sexuality here, but it can be intimate in so many other areas. Intimate with your health, intimate with your spirituality, intimate with your money, intimate with your family, intimate with your friends. Okay, there are many kinds of intimacy. I'm looking at sexual, physical, sexual, emotional intimacy in your romantic or partnered life. When you put sex, actually, you don't even consciously or intentionally or willingly put it at the bottom of the list. It just goes there because there are other things that are set as priority, either by you or by your family or by your employers or by whoever else has more weight in saying something about your life. I was trying to be more polite here and not make people feel too bad, especially if they're in that crappy situation, because I know it doesn't help. When somebody's overwhelmed, the last thing that they need is somebody just putting them down even more. So when other peoples have a bigger say in what you should do first, that's when the stuff that is important for you and might be helpful falls down at the bottom of the list. When sex is there, let me break it to you like this. A lot of those successful people, if they're really successful, they made sure that they have enough time to enjoy themselves. If they have to schedule it, whether with their partner or with somebody that they pay, whatever the heck, whatever their business is, they put time aside for it. Yes. Just like you put time aside for what? For an important task at work? Sexual expression is a priority and they put time aside for it. It doesn't sound romantic. Well, a lot of things in life are not romantic. But when it comes to being successful or fulfilled, that's one of the important things. Just like you would prioritize working out, like you would prioritize sleep, you also prioritize intimacy, sex. Number 7, do not expect others to tell them, so they are self-resourceful. Everybody runs into trouble every now and then. The people that navigate through them successfully are those that sit down with themselves and really think and feel through it until they come up with the best solution they can come up with. And only then will they seek counsel or just to exchange ideas with somebody just to get a confirmation, because when they're explaining the things that they thought out to somebody else, if they're really, really grounded and centered, they will realize this sounds good or it doesn't sound good. Sometimes somebody from the outside might put a very good question, maybe because they don't understand, so they want to get clarity. Just with that question, the individual that is going through challenges might realize, oh wait, there's maybe a better way to do this, or wow, this is actually a good way to do this. Yeah, because. So they are self-resourced primarily. That means in their mind, if they have a problem, first of all, they sit down and think, come on, I'm an adult in my own life. I know myself the best. Nobody knows me the way I know myself. So I can at least try to sit down and think, what would I do in this situation? Okay, super important, especially in intimacy where you don't want to, look, it's important. And if you don't feel that you can, because sometimes, okay, stuff can be so nasty and a situation can be so crazy that you don't know what to do. Okay, sure, you go in and ask somebody else. Totally workable. Okay, it's possible. But the mindset primarily for somebody that is fulfilled in intimacy is that they are self-resourced. Okay, so they sit down with themselves first. And last one, they keep score of the good stuff. Okay, fulfilled intimacy means that you keep score of what? First of all, what you did okay, and you saw that it brought you and your beloved partner's satisfaction. Or you keep score of the things that bring you peace of mind. Sometimes cutting out a relationship might bring you peace of mind because maybe the person, they're okay, you're okay, but together you're just not a match. And even though you're both, loving people, kind-hearted people, it can turn into a mess. That's what happens when people are not a good match. So you keep score of the right things. You also keep score of the right things, or whoever you are, whoever this person is that has a fulfilled intimacy. You keep score of the good, right, best things that your beloved did. A lot of people keep score of the wrong stuff. Let me tell you. That's not... Yeah, you want to be mindful of those, but you want to keep score primarily of the good things. If that score is low and you're kind of thinking, okay, we've been together for a long time, this score is kind of low here on the pluses, that's the time when you want to sit down again and go to step number 7, self-resourced. How do I feel about this? What's the way through this? And if I don't know, I'll go and seek secure help. I mean, private, discreet, a therapist, a coach, a counselor, the kind of person that won't start saying, hey, this person came to me and, ooh, you want to hear the trouble that they're going through, ha ha ha. Okay, that's what a lot of people actually do, sadly. But when you seek professional help, that's not going to happen. So these are my 8 plus the 0 part, the meaning of how you define fulfilled intimacy. These are my steps. If you ever want to consider getting any kind of inspiration from me for your personal life, then consider joining my Patreon. I got tons of practices there, and the membership is sustainable. Like, it's not a huge amount of money. You can stop it at any time you wish. Then you can go to my video programs that I have on my website. Those are they're not expensive. Trust me, we're not talking thousands of dollars or euro here. And you can get a lot of insights, and you can actually work, because that's what my programs do. They get you to work. And last but not least, you can also take individual coaching. That one is premium, so I can only do that with just a few people. We make sure that we get all the image, the full insight into it, and then we take the time. And it's important. It doesn't come right in the first session or the second session sometimes. Sometimes you need a bit more time to persevere in coaching. I'm not talking years. I'm talking months. Okay? In order for you to get 1, clarity, 2, become self-resourced, 3, start to ask yourself, really, okay, what do I know about myself? What can I grow into? And what is the stuff that I already know to use? You might think that this is common sense. It's not. It's not. Too many people just go online to get their answers for themselves without even knowing a lot of stuff about themselves. They just know that they got a problem and somebody has a solution, but they don't know how they got to that problem. They don't understand what actually works for them, and so on. So copy pasting from others is what most people do. That's people that are not self-resourced primarily. So check out all my work and drop me a comment to let me know if you made it this far. Okay, drop me a happy birthday, because October is my birth month. See you next time. Bye.